Marco D'Angelo here for Wager Talk TV. We're going to preview this year's Preakness. Now note, we're filming this before post positions are drawn, so we will be back next week, Tuesday evening, with our big Pony Pundits Preakness show. Once all the post positions are drawn, we'll give you even further in-depth analysis of who we like. But I'm going to give you who I think are 6 horses you got to look at in this year's Preakness. Here's my Sizzling Six for the Preakness. Coming in at number 6 is Iron Honor. Iron Honor is trained by Chad Brown. He had enough points to go to the Kentucky Derby, but Chad Brown decided to bypass the Kentucky Derby as he felt he had a better shot in the Preakness with Iron Honor. This is a spot that Chad Brown has done before. He's had horses eligible to the Kentucky Derby, but bypassed it to point to the Preakness, and it resulted in wins for him. This is a horse that prior to going into the Wood Memorial looked like a serious contender for the Kentucky Derby. However, he had a bad race in the Wood Memorial, and that put him on the shelf for the Derby. If Chad Brown is entering him here, he is fixed and figured it out, and he is a horse to be considered. Checking in at number 5 is Great White. Great White was a last-minute scratch in the Kentucky Derby. If you remember, he was one of the also eligibles that got into the race when another horse scratched. But as they were loading the horses into the gate, he got anxious and ended up flipping over and falling on the track and dropping his jockey. He was scratched from the race. He wasn't injured, but when you hit the track, it's an automatic scratch if you fall down in the post parade or going into the gate. Now he's back in the Preakness. He is a horse with tactical speed. He can either leave and go to the front like he did in the Bluegrass, or he can set off the pace and close just behind the leaders. Personally, I think he races better when he sits off the early fractions, and I think that's what his connections will do in the Preakness. Great White checks in at number 5. Checking in at number 4 is Chip Honcho, trained by Steve Asmussen. This is another horse that was eligible for the Kentucky Derby, but Steve Asmussen decided to bypass the Kentucky Derby and point to this race. He's had 6 starts, 2 wins, and 2 seconds in his career. This is a horse that does have tactical speed and will be coming at the end of the race, sitting just off of the front runners. This is a horse that's been improving, and I think he can take another step forward when he races in the Preakness. All right, guys, we're at the halfway point. If you like what you're seeing with these videos, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Give us that thumbs up, the like, and give us a comment. Tell me who you like in this year's Preakness, who you think is the horse to beat. Moving on, checking in at number 3 is Taj Mahal. Now, this is a horse trained by Brittany Russell, and we know what we've already seen from one female trainer this year is she won the Kentucky Derby. Could we get another female trainer? Well, this is the horse with the home court advantage. Taj Mahal has raced 3 times, won all 3 races, and he's improved his buyer speed figure in each of those races. He's coming off a big prep race, the Preakness Stakes, which is the major prep race for the Preakness. However, that race was raced at Laurel instead of Pimlico, and that's huge because this year the Preakness, instead of being at Pimlico, is being raced at Laurel Park because Pimlico is closed for renovations. This horse has 3 career starts all on the Laurel surface, giving him a big leg up on familiarity with the track, him being in his normal surroundings, and this horse is improving in each race. His buyer speed figure continues to improve. So this horse is taking a big jump in class in the Preakness, but if he continues his upward descent, this is a horse that could make a lot of noise in this year's Preakness. Checking in at number 2 is Silent Tactic. Silent Tactic is a horse that was scratched from the Kentucky Derby. This is a horse that in the Kentucky Derby would have been a factor, but trainer Mark Casse scratched him because he developed a foot problem. Wasn't a major problem, but he felt the 2 extra weeks would serve his horse better to have the extra time and then turn around and race in the Preakness. I believe that if they enter this horse, that's going to tell you all systems are go and the foot is completely healed. We really won't know till Tuesday if they drop him into the entry box Monday night for the Preakness. But if he's in, he's very live, and he is my number 2 horse. Don't forget, speaking of the post position draw, we'll be back on Tuesday with the full Pony Bunted show. Kelly Stewart and Sean Alvarez will join me as we break down the Preakness in detail and give you our actual selections. And finally, want to give you 2 coupons. If you've never bought anything at Wager Talk, we've got a package for you. You can pick up my Preakness package on Saturday. That package sells for $39. It comes with all of my plays. You will get my sports plays and my Preakness plays. Instead of getting it for $39, if you use coupon code PREAK2, you will get that for $2. Now that is only available to first-time buyers. If you've already bought from us before, don't worry, I got you covered too. You can use coupon code PREAK10 and we'll take $10 off that package. All right, who is my number 1 choice in my Sizzling Six? Well, that is going to go to Crude Velocity. Bob Baffert trains this colt. The horse has had 3 career starts, and they have all been victories. He's the horse that has put back-to-back 100-point buyer speed ratings in his 3 races. He raced on the undercard on Kentucky Derby Day. He raced in the Pat Day Mile. Everybody was highly anticipating the matchup between Crude Velocity and Englishman, 2 very good 3-year-olds. And those 2 put on a show. They battled from the top of the stretch home before Crude Velocity finally put Englishman away. Even with only 3 career starts, he showed that this horse is for real. And he showed experience in that long stretch battle and was able to pull away. Bob Baffert, after the race, said in post-race interviews that if this horse would have had 1 more start before the Derby, this would have been a Derby contender. Instead, he had to go to the Pat Day Mile, and he was literally giddy talking about this horse. And he even threw out the phrase freak. Freak is one of the highest compliments you can give a racehorse, and this horse just might be a freak. If he shows up Saturday at the Preakness, Bob Baffert is his horse is the horse to beat. That's Crude Velocity. That's my Sizzling Six for this year's Preakness. Again, if you like these videos, hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. This way you will not miss a single video that we release, and we're going to have complete coverage all week long leading right up to the Preakness on Saturday.